faulty investigation, a false accusation, a 17-year-old girl whose life is at stake. As a defense in this case, we don't have to prove anything to you. Terry Hayes, the defendant, is presumed innocent until proven guilty. No, the burden of proof rests solely on the prosecution. They have to prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt Terry killed Duke Kenilworth. That means that in order to find Terry guilty, you have to be completely and utterly sure that Terry here, humble, caring Terry, is a murderer. But they haven't proved that to you. There are still gaping holes in the prosecution's arguments. Prosecution today has told you that Terry's motives for killing Duke Kenilworth was that she argued with him. But didn't Miss Austin Taylor also argue with Duke Kenilworth? And Terry Hayes' fingerprints weren't even found on Duke's mug. She didn't serve Duke Kenilworth the night of the running of the gauntlet. She told you that in her testimony today. How could she have poisoned Duke's beer and given it to him when she didn't serve him in the first place? The only identifiable fingerprints found on Duke's beer mug were those of Duke himself and Austin Taylor. What about Austin Taylor? She was furious when Duke was elected president instead of her, and that anger only rose as Duke bragged in her face about it, snickered to their friends about how she was the one Taylor who didn't make it to the top. Austin Taylor got in several heated exchanges with Duke Kenilworth. One particularly cruel prank from Duke even led Austin to say, "You'll get what's coming to you one day. Just wait and see." Zanila reported seeing Austin rummaging around in the chemistry lab one day. A 17-year-old girl whose life is at stake. A faulty investigation. A false accusation. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in your deliberations, you must be fair. You must be just. You must find Terry Hayes not guilty. Thank you.
Well, yes, Your Honor. The defense mentioned to you arguments Austin Taylor made with the president of the club, Duke Kennel. But those arguments don't account to anything. We're talking about hazing here. That is what caused the defendants to murder Duke Kenilworth with 2 times the lethal dose of arsenic trioxide in his drink. Not talking about simple arguments. And all pledges had access to Duke's beer mug on the night of his death. Not just the one serving him, but you heard in her testimony that all pledges had access to all of the 5 officers' drinks. Additionally, Austin Taylor's want for the job of presidency of Carpe Diem was not enough for murder. And he said that this will be the last time that you'll play one of your cruel jokes on me. Compared to what Hayes said, the defendant, Terry Hayes, said, "What goes around comes around, and that'll be the end of you." Those are threats, not "that'll be the last time you play a cruel joke on me." And in conclusion, I ask you to find the defendant, Terry Hayes, guilty of the theft of illegal poison, criminal intent and planning, and ultimately the death of Duke Kenilworth. Do not let a murderer walk free. Find the defendant guilty of murder. Thank you.
The jury will be excused to make their deliberations, brief deliberations, while